everyone, it's Hexis here. Welcome back to my channel. And since War and Order brought about the changes in the totems, especially by reducing the number of scrolls required to unlock the skills from the purple totems onwards, and also reducing the number of runestones that you require to upgrade them, it became interesting for me to see what kind of differences it brings about when I do my weekly events like Abyss Monster, Undead King and Fiend Trial, when I use different kind of totems. And today we will take a look at two of them specifically, which will be the Fertility Totem, which I am using usually for my castle, and also the Fire Totem, which I found to be the best one to use in terms of events and the damage output because of the skill that it has. And we will take a look at both of them separately right now. So let's get into that. So first of all, the Fertility Totem has this special skill called the Fertility Blessing. And what it basically does is that it increases the HP of our infantry and cavalry, which basically are our frontline troops, by a certain amount of percentage when you unlock it. And currently my level is at 5. That means it increases the percentage by 10 when the battle starts. And here what we really need to note is that this totem doesn't really have the skill that does any damage anywhere. And also when we go into the stats overview of my totem at the current state, the attack of archers and mages is only like 3.6%, and most of the stats are focused on increasing the HP of our troops, mainly frontline. And this is one of the totems that I will use. And then now let's go into the Fire Totem. Here, if you look at the totem skill, it's at level 2 for me, because I'm not spending money on getting these scrolls. So whatever accumulates by getting through events or my daily totem quests, that's where my purple scrolls are coming from. And now I was able to unlock it twice. And then here basically what it does is that every 9 seconds the totem does damage to one of the enemy troops, and it is priority to the front row. However, when we do monsters, it is just one monster, so there is no other troop there for it to focus on basically. So it should do the damage on the monster. And what it does is like a certain amount times 2.4 or 1.2 basically, and it increases each level. And that's the damage it does every 9 seconds. And then if you go into the stats overview right now, since they changed that each of the level of the totem will give us infantry or cavalry boost together, or increase attack of our archers and mages together. So this was quite a nice change in my opinion, because even when we are not spending that much, we can actually increase these stats already at a lower level. And here the attack of archers and mages is increasing by 9.6% compared to the 3.6% that is currently on my Fertility Totem. This is another thing that we are going to note. And then let's see what is our performance against Abyss Monster today, since it's Monday and the Undead King will continue on Wednesday. So this will be cut into 2 different parts, as I would only be finishing the video on Wednesday once we finally get to do the Undead King and also test out Fiend Trial points at that time. So today we will check out my performance against the Abyss Monster. I'm only using the 15% bonuses, attack bonus and HP bonus for my troops, and I'm sending also angels to Abyss Monster, as I found out that for me sending angels actually increases the damage done. So at the moment my totem that I'm sending right now is the Fertility Totem, the blue totem with level 5 skill, which is only increasing the HP of the troops. So let's see what the amount of damage the troops are doing currently for me against the Abyss Monster. Alright, the first result is here. That's currently 1.9 G, also 1911. Let's keep that extra numbers also in mind, just in case there is a slight differences. Okay, now I need to heal it up pretty fast. I will be speed healing, which I normally don't recommend, but only for the sake of the video I will be doing that. so that you're not waiting around for me to finish healing up. And now when we are sending, I'm going to change the priority order here. So I'd cancel this fertility totem, use my fire totem as my primary one, confirm. Now the fire totem will be sent along. And now we send it, and let's see what kind of damage are we doing. All right. So at the moment, the Abyss Lord takes a little bit more damage compared to my fertility totem, which was 1911, and here the damage is 1945 with sending my fire totem along. Although it's not a big difference actually when you look at it, because considering the amount of damage it should be doing, like each 9 seconds, when you watch the timer here, you can see that, okay, the fire totem is activated, the first set of damage is done, and then every 9 seconds it keeps doing that. Along just with that, we should have some extra damage done on it, and it's not looking like it's doing a lot of damage considering what it should be doing. And then also the 9.6% extra mage attack percentage, or even archer attack percentage, that's also not really getting activated here for some reason, because that's a big difference, like 6% change compared to the fertility totem. Anyways, this was my test run on the Abyss monster with these two different totems. We will continue this video with the Undead King on Wednesday, and until then I will continue doing this Abyss monster today and then finish it off, and then let's find out what kind of changes are there for Undead King and Fiend trial. Alright, so let's continue with Undead King today, again testing out our two totems. So let's first set up our army formation for the Undead King, and we will first send the fertility totem along with our armies. All right, here we go. So at the moment our army attack damage output is 1.4 G for the infantry Nemesis Undead King, and we send the fertility totem as our first one. Now we will test out what kind of damage the fire totem is bringing us, and for that we need to change our totem priorities. Okay, it's set now, and here we go. In the Abyss monster we saw that actually the fire totem brought out a little bit more damage than sending the fertility totem. So today this will be our second test on a different kind of monster, let's say, and seeing what kind of damage it is giving. And surprisingly it's less damage compared to the fertility totem, which is quite curious again, that the supposed increase in damage by the 9-second damage from the fire totem and also the extra percentage of mage attack here in our case is not really becoming effective. And this is something worth noting when you are trying to use these totems in the Undead King. And it's one of my theory right now is that it's because the infantry is being sent, and the fertility totem actually raises the HP of the infantry. So it's possible that that's the reason why it has slight advantage over the fire totem, but the damage output from the totem itself should have been enough to compensate that gap. However, that's not the case now. that concludes our tests on different kinds of monsters. So Abyss Monster, Fire Totem brings out more output in terms of damage, and in case of Undead King, it's less, and actually quite less. So like I will finish the rest of the attacks later. So let's go on to the Fiend trial so that we have an idea what kind of damage output is getting from this when we are using the two different totems, and which one is most effective in terms of our Fiend trial performance. So first of all, let's go with the Fertility Totem. I need to adjust my army size again. All right. So we have like 14 million damage at the moment by sending Fertility Totem. Everything else is the same. We are using the Lord skill army expansion and 15% HP and attack bonuses. Now we will use the Fire Totem again to see what kind of damage it's going to get. There we go, and actually it's quite high, like 5 million increase in damage when I used Fertility Totem compared to, Fire Totem compared to Fertility Totem, and that's actually a big difference. And this is also very interesting now that in case of Fiend Trial, we have a huge variation in damage. When it comes to Abyss Monster or Undead King, it's different, and in the case of Undead King it's less, in Abyss Monster it is slightly higher. So that concludes our test runs on our different totems and what are their effects on our daily, weekly, daily Fiend Trial, and also our weekly events like Abyss Monster and Undead King. Let me know in the comments below what kind of results are you getting, and if you are using different sets of totems and what are they bringing as in terms of damage output. Definitely Hunting Totem is also worth checking out, since it is actually then increasing the damage, or let's say percentage of mage or archer attack. So that would be an interesting thing to see. So if one of you are using it, feel free to test it out and let me know in the comments what are the outputs, and also if any of the other totems are actually bringing out any good differences. I have actually tested the shadow totem. What is it called again exactly? This one where it's called the Darkness Totem. It is actually way less compared to even the Fertility Totem for the damage, because the Totem skill only brings out very low amount of percentage output compared to the Fire Totem. So the others are all giving out less in terms of percentage compared to the Fire Totem when it comes to the damage that's done by the skill. The only thing that's remaining to test out is the Hunting Totem. So check it out, and hope you all enjoyed the video. See you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys.